Hi everyone. So I'm doing, I think this is session, I think I got the session numbers wrong last time. This is actually, I'm doing session 5. I'm recording session 5 and 6 today, but session 5 was last week. And we worked on my spine, all the way up and down my spine. We also worked on my wrist. I've had beginning carpal tunnel. Struggle. I drive a lot for my jobs too. Both of my jobs are driving, so I drive a lot, plus our phones in our hands. Anyway, I have a lot of pain and issues with my hands and my wrists particularly. I also donated plasma for a long time, and I got some veins blown, so I think I have some damage in my forearms coming into the hands, so on and so forth. So we worked on that too. We also did my sternum right here. So I guess I'll just start with the spine. That was interesting, especially the bottom, the sacral point. But that was all pretty painful. I did notice as she finished the spinal adjustment that I felt very euphoric. I had a very euphoric feeling, which usually you have that feeling of release, like relief and relax, but this was really like almost like an adrenaline rush. Like I got some endorphins or something. That was really cool because that's the only time that's ever happened. And then we worked on my wrist. That was very, very painful. But they're much better. I have a lot of flexibility. It's been a week since she worked on my wrist. And I work on them myself too when I do yoga and stretching at the gym. But I've noticed that it feels like the scar tissue or those painful areas is kind of moving. It's moving around. I mean, John Lee says it breaks up, but I can feel it kind of moving around. Like it's not really so compacted and together, and so it's moving around. And I've noticed a little bit of tightness and stuff in my fingers today, but I noticed that last time when she worked on my occipital point for 2 weeks later, it felt really bad, and then it kind of came out of that. So I think it's in a healing process. It's getting better. The sternum was until today the second most painful point that I've had to work with outside of the occipital. The occipital is still in the top spot, but I cried with that one. But the sternum was very, very, very painful, and it was so painful that like after the fact, when she would just put her hand over it, not even touching it, it felt like she was putting like a ton of bricks on it. And then we rubbed some like essential oil. I can't remember if it was peppermint or what kind of oil it was afterwards. And it was very, very hot. And when the essential oil touched it, it felt ice cold. When I put my hand on that spot right here, it was like ice cold. So there was some kind of a temperature thing that was happening with the healing, with the release in that point. I'm trying to remember, that was last week. What else I wanted to say? I feel really good. I just got out of another session, which I'm going to do that video next, but I do feel really good also from this last session. This past week I mentioned about the wrist, but I've also noticed more flexibility in the, like, because she worked on my spine, in the way I can twist and move and like the way I'm sitting. Overall, just really positive results and a good session. And like I said, I did get that feeling of euphoria. This is my 5th session, and I had a 6th one today. And I have not had that feeling of euphoria except for when she first adjusted my spine. I literally got a rush of endorphins. And a lot of times it doesn't feel all that great doing this very important healing work. So that was kind of cool.